Welcome back, my guys. Today we have got push A. So I am very much looking forward to taking you through the session. This workout is a little bit different to the push B variation. I am still doing one session where I do a pec fly before my pressing, which is today. Push B, we do prioritize some heavier pressing with a lower incline angle. So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of the workout as we go through the session. But super simple. Start with a machine lateral, move on to pec deck, then an incline dumbbell press, flat converging machine press, into a deficit push-up. Then we go into a narrow grip press, and it's a tricep press. A lot of people mistake this machine with a chest press. It's just simply not. It's an ideal tricep press machine, not an actual chest press. Then I'll actually see, I may actually do sprinkle a little bit of extra work in today, depending on what progression's like, as we are coming up towards end of my training block. So this is where I generally will introduce some rest pause work or additional sets in order to see more progression happen. So that's just one way to progress. It doesn't just have to be a load, does it have to be reps? It's all dictated by overall setup and how the training block has gone in general. But again, that's more nuance for me, right? It's not probably something that some of you may need to do. Some of you may need it, some of you may not. That's the beauty of us filming this content, right? You can take things away and use it yourself. Anyway, after a narrow grip press, we've got the incline cable overhead extension, and then a single arm lateral. New logbook is in, as Meg actually lost mine the other day, which had so many good notes on it, so I wasn't happy, as you can imagine. She put it on top of the car, and obviously I drove off. But I specifically gave it her as we were leaving the house. I was like, look, just take that so I don't forget it, 'cause sometimes I leave it on the table. Anyway, she put it on top of the car and just left it on top of the car. Great. So anyway, I've got my Christmas present early, which is a fancy logbook like this, which is amazing. So we are going to get stuck into the session. Game time. Beautiful. 12, beautiful. That felt good. Right, 5 pounds up and 1 rep up. Double whammy. This is what I call the unicorn of progression, which is a double progression, a rep and low progression. These are the progressions that make me happiest the most, because these are also the progressions that will lead to the most growth. They're also the hardest progressions. Any of you that comment, why are you so out of breath? I do these videos when I'm training. You know, the whole point of training is to be out of breath. Some of you guys are watching and you comment. I really do appreciate you all. So thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Sometimes if I don't reply to the comments, I do apologize, but it's quite toxic on the internet at the moment. So I try not to look at too much comments, to be honest, because although mentally I'm a very strong person, when it's getting like heavy, can play with your head, especially with where I am. I'm very much a person that will say it how it is. If I've got a problem with someone, I'll say it to them. Most of these people saw me in the street, saw me in the gym, would never say a word to me in my face. I know that. Anyway, Back to fucking work, let's get it.
Yeah.
$13? Oh yeah. That's actually quite comfortable. I like it. Like 3 days on, 1 off is the new split. Some of you guys that haven't watched the video of me breaking down my training, please give it a watch and use it should you wish to do so. Now, if you do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video as well. Adaptation is something that takes place when you expose your body to a novel stimulus. So what that means is, when you come in the gym, you lift a load that you haven't done before. Your body has to adapt to that new level of stress you put it under. Now, if you increase your training frequency, increase your training volume, increase your strength, your body has to adapt. So, the whole point of this is, your body can adapt to extra stress, extra work, but it's going to be fucking hard. And it will require you to be even more dialed in with your recovery modalities and pay attention to your stress levels, your sleep, your mealtime, and your hydration, all the small little things that do improve your recovery. It all can be done. That's exactly what I've had to do just recently in the last 4 weeks of increasing my training frequency, and indirectly that will have increased my training volume, which is the number of sets that I actually do across the week. So on paper, my sessions are shorter, a little bit less volume, but because I hit everything every 4 days, it's actually more work across the week. But I'm progressing my lifts every single time I come to the gym. That's the most important thing, is you being able to progress your lifts. That's the key always. Right, final set on here, and then it's time for pec deck. One thing you'll notice with my training is I attack every single set with the same focus, the same intent. It doesn't matter if it's a lateral machine, it doesn't matter if it's a deadlift, it's a squat pattern. It all gets treated with the same respect. Same intensity, same intent, same focus. It's all just as important. There isn't one that's more important than the other. It's all it all fits in the little jigsaw. Ronnie Coleman, the greatest bodybuilder of all time, for many, many reasons. Not only just his physique, but I think his approach to bodybuilding makes him the greatest of all time. It's just unbelievable focus and work ethic, immense consistency, and more importantly, he just stayed locked in, did his thing, really loved it, and just blocked out anything around him. He was just so carefree. I envy that a lot. And I think if there's one thing that we can all take away from Ronnie and learn from him, is the mindset and the ability to really switch off and work. I think we allow a lot of negativity to almost consume us, especially in this day and age, where everyone has an opinion, everyone likes to blame one another and have a dig, especially in this world. Be like Ronnie. Just fucking focus relentlessly. some of you might be asking why I'm holding lifting straps, wrist straps, whatever they are. When you're going to your lateral variations, if you're not holding stuff in your hands, right, you might actually experience some elbow pain over time. So for me, when I do get a little bit of elbow niggle, it reminds me to actually start holding on to something on my lateral work. So if I use cuffs and do my laterals, I always hold something here to create more pressure across my forearm. It actually gives me more stability from my shoulder, but it also protects the joint. Use it and write it down. If you do experience elbow pain from your lateral variations, that might be the reason why.
I feel like I'm a lot more powerful when I've got something.
Yeah, so you will feel more powerful because you're creating more tension, right? Pay attention to how me and Mark approach these sets. Our body doesn't fucking move. The more stability you can have, the more power you can generate. If you are not bracing, so if your core's all loose, you don't have a stable base through your feet, you won't be able to generate the same power. The same applies with your grip and tension through your hand. So in here, let's say you try to do it an all-out set, a max set of 8 to 10, right? Try and do it with your hands relaxed. And then try and do it with your fist gripped hard and see what's stronger. The same principle applies when you're trying to hit someone, right? You try and hit someone with open palm versus really gripping hard. The difference to power is so much greater. That's the reason why whenever you put a glove on, you can almost grip it. Where it's like, you can't really create a solid fist like all the way with a glove on because you've got almost like a little shift where you hold it. And that's both with boxing gloves and UFC gloves on. So what you can find is, with an actual glove on, you actually punch a lot harder. So same thing applies here.
There's probably aerodynamics in that as well. Like if you're going like that, there's like some resistance. Whereas if you're like that,
yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe. But it's just like the position, right? And it's like you can't really turn into it. Whole point of like creating more power when you hit is you can actually turn into your punch. If you just go like this, there's nothing. Where you go boom, it's almost like a screw. Look at a bullet doesn't just go like this. A bullet turns. Usyk and Fury tomorrow night. By the time this video's come out, the fight will be over. But I'm saying Usyk by either points or 9th round. We're up to 60 grams of performance fuel in here. So around 54 grams of carbs intra-workout. That goes down really easy. Tastes so good. Digestibility for this is amazing. So my stomach feels pretty light. I do get a little bit more distended when I train because I do have a lot of water on my training, but it's not a biggie. When I diet, my midsection comes in a lot. Just in the off season, I do tend to hold a lot of bloating, but that's something that's very much prevalent in my family. Everyone's got like almost like a beer belly. But I guess that's just more so your body fat distribution. And that's fine. As I get lean, it's the first thing that comes down really. 272 this morning, which is heaviest yet this push up. And I'm not fat by any means. My glutes are still boxed off. It's going to translate to a healthy increase in body weight this year. I'm excited. I'm saying this year because you are watching this in like 2025. We are filming this just before Christmas, so.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Yeah.
Is that because you don't want to eat any more food, or
no,
I thought you were starving?
No, I always keep carbs around workout, even with natural guys. One thing I've noticed with them is, and again, you should always kind of go off natural guys as to what works the most effective, right? With nutrition and training. The training performance is always way better with carbohydrates in the training, especially for us when our training session is a little bit longer. I think it always makes sense to have a carbohydrate source that can digest so easy, and performance fuel is a pure cyclodextrin, good quality, minimal sweetness, so does digest really well. I've always used it. Been a massive believer in intra-workout carbohydrates. Off the back of a podcast I listened to with Scott Stevenson many years ago. He actually cited quite a lot of studies that do back it. So, Scott, If I had the links, I'd post it, but I don't, sorry. One of the most important things to pay attention to with chest training is your sternum position and sternum angle. Your sternum is here. Keep it pointing up. Make sure your chest stays in front of your shoulders. You don't want to cave in like this and let your shoulders come forward at any point. You want to maintain this posture throughout to expose your chest to all the tension as you are driving through. The function of your pec is actually abduction, adduction of your humerus. So it's basically, in simple terms, bringing your arm in and out. That is the function of your chest. You want to try and mimic that to a degree across all of your chest exercises. Once you do that, you'll thank me for your chest actually growing. Now, try and repeat that on every chest exercise you do. Proud chest, slight extension at your upper back, lower back stays neutral. And I actually like to set from my feet up. Feet stay planted, glutes contracted slightly, pelvis under, neutral spine, core braced, sternum lifted. Then you get after it. Oh, 12?
Yeah.
Oh, that is glorious. Now, you might want to ask why I'm keeping my hands here. It's very simple. I either use knee handles on this or I just place it on my forearm, because if I was to use this grip here, I'm very limited with my grip positioning. My arm naturally wants to come in slightly like this, see how it pronates? This lines up my arm path much better on my pecs as opposed to this. So when I use traditional grip on this, I'd get more shoulder and less pec. So for me, it's not worth it. These jumpers are amazing, especially for this time of the year. I like to be really warm in the gym. So for me, these are literally perfect. I can just wear a t-shirt underneath and I can get a real good sweat going on. Now, I do genuinely feel safer training when I'm warmer as well. So you will rarely ever see me train with a vest on. It just never happens. Even in summer, I do have a jumper on sometimes, or a big top. I just feel more comfortable in doing so. Doesn't get the likes and views though, but it's not what we're here for. We're here to help people, always. Now, if you want some of this, Kuba 10, trainedbyJP.com for all the subs and the clothing. You know the drill. Time to fucking focus, my friend.
What's the reason for doing your first warm-up on a thicker bench?
Not a fan. I like to have like a smaller bench I can wrap around.
But you did your first warm-up on it, why?
Yeah, I did, just so I don't have to fuck about walking with dumbbells, yeah.
I thought it was
No.
Well, technically, you're not wasting your energy.
Yeah, I suppose so.
By about 5 calories.
I suppose so. Nine, 8. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, to be honest. Yeah. Just, like I said, way more comfortable.
What's the last time?
I got 10 with 50s, so I'm gonna try and aim to get 10 again, but just better reps again. And I think I'll be able to do that. Like, that's what I mean now. Next time I do this, for the 60s again, maybe for 9 quality reps, at 62. Another thing to remember as well is, I've progressed my laterals and my pec deck by quite a big margin. So I'm even more pre-fatigued going into this. So that's a progression in itself. I think a lot of people try to just rush the progressions much more. It's like strength should be a byproduct of you adapting, growing the tissue, and then being able to move more load, more stress. Not other way around. Right, down. No more warm-up sets for me. Straight to working sets. I know my setup here, I know my seat height. I've done this movement on repeat every 4 to 5 days the past 10 weeks. So I'm very familiar with it. Therefore, I don't need any more warm-up sets. Any more warm-up sets here would not serve any benefit. It would just simply take away from my ability to perform at max capacity. So once you've done the bulk of your work at the start of your session, you then don't need any extra warm-up sets, especially after your heavy compound work is completed. So exercise number 1, first heavy compound of the session was the incline dumbbell press. After that, don't really need warm-up sets on machines. I can go straight in, especially machines that I'm already familiar with, I know my setup with, like this machine here. Now, focus and game time. Yeah. Oh, that was a hard set. That was actual fucking failure. I wasn't letting that go. Sometimes you've got to let it rip, especially on a machine. Not all the time though. That was still an acceptable rep though. I still didn't really spaz out. Good. One more.
Okay. Take that. Let go. Go.
Oh. Fucking hell.
years.
One more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell yourself you don't work. Fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right guys, thank you so much for watching. I've got my malted chocolate YISO Pro here as paste, and I've got 160 cream of rice, 150 blueberries and 10 grams of raisins, which is going to be tremendous. An amazing push session today. So I'm very happy. Some progression, not huge, but definitely some progression, which is great. At this point now, we shouldn't see huge jumps in progression when it comes to strength. It should be hard and it should be slow and progressive. Guys, I hope you like the video. Please show me some love. Click the subscribe button, share, like and comment. Show me some love. Peace out and take care for now.